What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I saw this thing on TikTok that I decided to do here as well, which was like about me video games. It was like a template of like different questions, like what's your favorite antagonist, your favorite art style in a video game, all this different stuff. I thought it was really cool, so I tried to download the one that I saw on TikTok. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I could only do it on my phone on the web version of TikTok for some reason. So then I went and looked up a template on Reddit. It's pretty close to what I was looking at on the TikTok version of it, but it's not exactly the same. But it got hit most of the bases. So I thought it'd be really cool to kind of go over this a different video, like a little bit more unique. So here we go. I have this in my Photoshop photo editor, so I can easily just move images over without having to worry about it. And I'll probably just save this as a thumbnail. So we have a total of 18 categories to go through. We'll be putting a game in each one. Some of these will be harder than others, I'm sure, but we'll also be going through video game to video game, discussing which one I personally think fits in the category. So, starting off with a tough one, favorite game of all time. Now, there are definitely games that I probably enjoyed more than others, or and there's also games I've played more than others. And obviously, this changes over time. New games come out, new games become my favorite. But if I had to say right now, yeah, right now, my favorite game of all time would be Elden Ring. Fucking love this game. I'm mad at myself that it took me so long to play through the game because I just kind of dropped it after I think I went to the after the Godric fight. I pretty much dropped it once I went to the little Lake of Liurna Lake section of the game, and it is just insane just how much. If you want to do everything in the game, it's going to take you like 100 hours. Like if you want to do all the things, all side questing and defeating all the bosses and stuff, and then plus the DLC as well, you are going to be spending so much time. There's so much different builds to play on, so much replayability, so much, so many good and unique weapons and weapon arts and all this stuff. There's so much replayability to this game. I just love the gameplay. I'm a huge sucker for Souls-like games, and obviously this is one of the staple ones. Absolutely amazing game, amazing open world. It's not like one of those big, flat, empty open worlds. Dude, there was something everywhere, something going on everywhere throughout the game, and each landscape is just amazing to look at. It's visually stunning. The DLC, though not super like crazy good, it was still pretty freaking good, all things considered, and just overall, just my favorite game of all time. Full stop, in my opinion, obviously, because it's my favorite game. So, anyway, favorite series? I have to look at this one. I have a couple that come to mind. Halo, for one. I mean, just the first, like, the Bungie Halos, because after Bungie, 343 Halos are just not nearly as good. Favorite series? Let me do some research real fast. It's really so I'm looking through this website where I catalog all my games on. For the most part, games I've completed. And I'm looking through, and a couple come to mind. Call of Duty Black Ops, not really the Call of Duty series as a whole, but just Black Ops, really. And Halo, like specifically the original, like the Bungie Halo games, are like what I'm between right now. I rated all the Black Ops is really high. There's not like a whole lot of game series that I played through to completion. Battlefield's had its ups and downs. Far Cry has really fallen off, and I only really enjoyed the third one, fourth one, and fifth one. That trilogy. Assassin's Creed never really liked that much. I'm gonna go with kind of the safe option here and say my favorite series of games will be the Bungie Halos specifically, just the Bungie Halo games. I thought, maybe the Elder Scrolls, maybe the Fallout series. To be honest, I probably out of all the series of games I played through completely, if you combine all the hours, I'd say Halo is probably the highest out of all the game series I played through. And yeah, they hold a special place in my heart from the Xbox 360 days. Absolutely. Still play them on MCC every now and again. Got the Last of Master achievement, literally the rarest achievement in the Master Chief Collection, and it took me a long ass time to do it. And the only reason I was able to do that achievement is because I love the games so fucking much. So specifically, like I said, specifically the Bungie one Halos, which is 1, 2, 3, and Reach. Reach probably the least, and I put my most favorite of the series, which is Halo 3. So yeah, that would be my favorite series. Best soundtrack. Could honestly give it to Halo again for this. A few games immediately come to mind to me. Obviously, Halo, Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring. Another one, Undertale, Minecraft. Minecraft is super big one there. Those are probably the big like 4 games I could think of, like, or 4 or 5 games that like I could think of on the top of my head that have like a really good soundtrack. God of War games, the new ones, 2018 and Ragnarok, have really good soundtracks as well. Uh, but this is what I'm going to go with right here. I know it might be a bit hard to see there, but I couldn't find a better image. The best soundtrack, in my opinion, I keep fucking pressing enter. I need to change that button, by the way. The best game, in my opinion, the game with the best soundtrack that I personally played, it was really close between like the Halo games, specifically Halo 2 for me, or Undertale, and I have to give the edge here to Undertale. There are so many soundtracks, like the entire game's soundtrack from like point A to point B doesn't fucking miss. Toby Fox did an exceptional job coming up with the soundtrack of this game because it is so freaking amazing from point A to point B to the final fight between what was his name, Azrael or whatever. I forgot the name. It's been a while. Toriel, whatever. No, it's not Toriel. But that's a good soundtrack too, like, or a good song too. Like the boss fights, amazing. The zones soundtracks, amazing. Just throughout the game, just complete fucking vibes throughout the entire game. Probably like I said, my favorite soundtrack of any game. Favorite protagonist. This one is really between two that I can think of off the top of my head, and that would be Master Chief or Kratos from the God of War series. It's a tough one because, Master Chief, he's not like the most complex character or anything, but he's just really fucking badass. But Kratos has a lot more complexity to his character, especially in the newer games, War 2018 and Ragnarok. He has a lot more complexity to his character and stuff. Well, Master Chief does kind of have that same thing, but just not nearly as prevalent. And he's just like I said, like he's just like a badass character. But he was took over my childhood, and Kratos has been a lot more recent. I say for right now, man, like at my current state, recently playing through 2018 and Ragnarok, man, Kratos from the God of War series has to be like right now my favorite protagonist in video games. He is such an awesome character. He carries those 2 games by just how complex his character really is, from going from those original 3 games, the Ghost of Sparta, to trying to be a father and a role model for Kratos, or Atreus, my fault. Atreus, and trying not to fall back into his old ways while having all these conflicts go on and stuff. It's just, to me, Kratos is my favorite protagonist in video games as of right now. Favorite villain's a tough one because I can't really think of any big villains in these video games that I played through off the top of my head. I have to really think and look through the games I played. I don't know why the image got blurry as fuck all of a sudden, but the character I picked for my favorite villain is probably Boss from Far Cry 3. It's completely insane. I don't really remember the story of Far Cry 3 very much because it's been so long since I played it. I mean, it's been over a decade now, I think, since I beat the game last. But I'll never forget the quote he had when he captured you later in the game. He was like, "Do you understand the definition of insanity?" And he'd be like doing the same shit over and over again, expecting a different result before he like kicks you in like a hole or something. But dude's just completely sane, but also really charismatic at the same time. And I don't really remember what his motives are, but I remember he's just sick and cool as fuck. So yeah, I'd give that to Voss from uh, Far Cry 3. Getting the best story, one big one comes to mind is the God of War. You know, the God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, two amazing stories. I'm really glad that God of War came out. The two new ones came out on PC because I probably would have never been able to experience them. Baldur's Gate 3 is another one that I can think of off the top of my head. Red Dead Redemption 2, another one. GTA 5. Played a lot of great story games. Undertale. The Souls games, you know, they're good games, but they're not really known for their story. More of their lore than anything. It's really between Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War 2018. I'd say Ragnarok right now is. I don't know which one's a better story though. I like Ragnarok more than 2018, I think, but I don't know which one's better. All right, coming in for the best story game I've ever played, had to give it to God of War 2018. The thing about Ragnarok and Baldur's Gate 3 is I haven't completed them, so this could definitely change at some point. But as of right now, the best story I played through that I can think, obviously this is fresh on my memory, is God of War 2018 specifically, but both games have amazing stories. And like I said before, placing it, I'm so glad that these games came out on PC because I probably would have been able to experience them like myself. I probably would only have to watch them in videos and stuff, and I didn't even bother because I never was going to play it, so why would I even care about watching someone play through them? But it came out on PC, man, and I love them. I love the games. The gameplay's fun, but we're just discussing story here, and 2018 specifically is my favorite game. Favorite story game. How about that? Have not played but want to. Have not played but want to. Oh, I got a big one for this actually. I just now thought of it, and it's yeah, this is it. Honestly, this one might right here might have been the easiest choice once I took a second to think about it. Coming in at my have not played but want to game is Bloodborne, man. I have not been able to play Bloodborne because, like I said, I've never owned a PlayStation in my life. I've always been on Xbox. That's what all my friends play on and stuff, and that's just what I grew up with. So I've always played on Xbox, and Bloodborne and Demon Souls are the two From Software games that are completely or PlayStation exclusive. And I've heard nothing but great things of Bloodborne. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks insanely fun to play, and I've always felt like I missed out on Bloodborne because it's considered to be like one of the best, if not the best, Souls game that From Software has came out with. And I've never been able to play it because I've never owned a PlayStation, and I don't really plan on it. So unless it comes on PC, I probably will never play Bloodborne in my life, which is such a shame, such a crime, because I don't want to play on 30 FPS for one, and for two, I don't want to have to buy a PlayStation to play a singular game. You know what I mean? Bloodborne will be have not played but want to, and who knows? I'll probably never play it, so I might always have that spot. But that is 100% my pick for have not played but want to. Then we got You Love but Everyone Hates. So kind of like a game that would kind of be considered underrated in my eyes. So let me go through my picks. I can't really think of anything on top of my head. Uh, Games, maybe like some people hate DayZ. That could be one. All right, I really struggled to find a game that I love and everyone hates. But this one, I saw this one. I saw the disparity in ratings, and I thought that this was the only one that made logical sense. So The Deer God was like an indie game that I played super early on after I bought my Xbox One because I was looking for free games to play while the Master Chief Collection was playing. So I downloaded a bunch of free games and decided to play them. This was one of them. It's like a little indie game where like you're a hunter, you kill a deer and die for some reason, and then you turn into a deer and you have to avoid getting hunted and fight bosses and stuff as on like a side scroller platform game. And I remember it being, I mean, it was a super simple game, but I thought it was really charming. The art style was kind of cool, and the story not really anything to write home about, but I thought it was really cool. You start off as like a little fawn, and you grow up into like a massive ass fucking buck and shit, and then they give you the decision of whether or not you want to stay a deer or become a fucking a human again or some shit. And yeah, I remember actually kind of liking the game. I looked at the comments and reviews of the game and the website I was just using, and a lot of people didn't like the game. I thought it was okay. The Deer God would be the only one that I think really fits in there. So you hate, everyone loves category next. And there's a couple of games I could think of. One game I think is Black Ops 2. I think is super overrated, but I wouldn't really say I hate it. The only game that I really can see on this for this list is this one right here. Saying everyone loves this game might be a bit of an overstatement, but pretty much all my friends like this game. I just do not see the appeal. You can put any farming simulator game in this list. I just picked the first one that popped up when I searched up farming simulator. Just farming simulator as a whole, I do not like. I forgot how much they charge for this game. I don't think it's full price at least. I think it's like 40 something bucks, maybe like $40, $45. But the game looks like shit for one. In my opinion, I think the game looks like shit. The gameplay loop is boring as fuck. It's literally you are planting. You start off small. You rent out or buy farm equipment. Either you rent out the good one, lease the good shit, or buy the shitty shit. And then you harvest and plant the field. After you get done planting and doing all the preparations there, you literally speed up the fucking game to mock Jesus, so you can fucking immediately get to harvest the crops and repeat that process over and over again until you buy like every fucking field in the game. To me, that is not fun at all. That is not fun at all. This game has no appeal to me. It's literally watching like fucking grass grow. I played so many of them. I played 15, 17, 19, 22. Like I played so many farming simulator games. I don't like any of them because my friends convince me to buy them every time. I do not like farming simulator. That is going in my I hate, everyone loves tier there. Next up is best art style. This one I kind of struggled with as well, thinking back on the other. This one actually ended up being a lot quicker than I expected. I literally immediately, when I saw it, I immediately remembered what I picked last time when I was doing the template like in my head. I saw it on TikTok, and that was Psychonauts. Psychonauts has to be like the most unique and interesting looking art style I've ever seen in a video game. It's like back in those like mid early 2000s where like every game was like trying to be super unique and fresh so people would buy them before like people started getting like the kind of the same art style for a lot of games, and like the ultra realistic or the super high graphic art styles that are around today. And you think I played Psychonauts like somewhat recently, and it was just a breath of fresh air, just seeing how unique all the characters looked, all the environments looked, and the different levels and stuff just looked completely different, unlike anything I'd ever seen before. I really appreciate a unique looking art style over one that you would consider like really fucking good, because it doesn't look the best. It's an old game, but like I will like unique looking environments and stuff over something that looks super realistic. That's just my opinion. Like I don't play a game to have a super realistic looking game. I play it to have a unique experience. You know what I mean? So, and that is coming from like the only reason I finished Psychonauts was because of its art style, because I just cannot stand playing like platformers. I'm not a big fan of platformers, but I still will be playing the second game as well. So, yep. Next up, we have my favorite ending to a game. Ooh, that's a interesting one. I have a couple. Halo 2 has a really cool ending. GTA 5 has a really good ending with everyone. If you do the ending that you don't get someone killed, like you either portray Trevor or Michael, but if you do like fight against the like CIA or whatever, or FBI, then you get a happy ending where everyone survives. Undertale has a really good fucking ending. It might be Undertale, I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to avoid repeats. Undertale has a really like that shit almost made me fucking cry because it was so good. Like tears of joy, not really of sadness. I'm gonna look through a couple times, but like there's a few good endings I remember. Yeah, I think we're going to our first repeat. Actually, it would be the first repeat because we got Kratos from God of War, and we got God of War 2018. So I guess it would be our first repeat. But yeah, Undertale's ending is super fucking good. Probably Undertale's probably the best indie game I've ever played. So if that was on here, that would be probably number one. I love the ending of Undertale. I think Undertale is so properly rated. I mean, I know the fan base can be weird, but like the game is just amazing. I completely enjoyed. The ending was the true pacifist ending is what I'm referring to. Obviously, like the true ending of the game, amazing. Just I love the Undertale ending and the story of Undertale. Like story, I mean Undertale was up there with best story as well for me. So favorite boss fight. I don't think there's any real ones in God of War that I can think of that really come to mind. Maybe other than Baldur, but I don't really think those really compare to like the Souls like boss fights boss fights that I played through. This one came on top of my mind. I keep coming back to it, so I'm gonna pick this one. So this is my pick. This is the Abyss Watchers from Dark Souls 3, which have been like my favorite boss fight in the Souls games and even Elden Ring. The only really that competed with it was like Artorias, which is what these are based off of, and Mesmer from Elden Ring. But I've always had a soft spot for the Abyss Watchers fight. It was like kind of like the introduction to the midway point of Dark Souls 3, but the soundtrack was amazing. The little after flame effects in the second phase, absolutely like fucking awesome. Just to look at the guy that comes up and helps you fight the Abyss Watchers, and they're fighting each other because they're corrupted by the Abyss, I'm assuming. All this and the soundtrack on top. Literally, the soundtrack is so fucking good. Even through playing the DLC, maybe Slave Knight Gale could have been up there as well, but through playing the DLC and playing every single Souls game except for Sekiro, Bloodborne, and Demon Souls, this was my favorite fight out of all of them. The Farron Keep Abyss Watchers. Childhood game? I think I know what I'm going to do for this one. Coming in at favorite like childhood game, we have Star Wars Battlefront 2, man. Dude, if you did not experience playing the shit on PS2 with like your sibling or fucking a friend or some shit, bro, I honestly feel bad for you, man, because this game was the shit, bro. I played this game on PS2, the PS2 version of the game, as recently as like, God, like 2015, 2016. I know it's been a while, but I play the PC version now, and they re-released it on the Classic Collection, which kind of sucks, and all the servers are dead on it. But it's even better now with mod support. But like playing this game as a kid was always fun. Playing as the heroes, they're having their unique soundtracks. I just was a big Star. I still am a big Star Wars fan to this day. So, and I was a big fan of it back in 2005. It came in just right at the time after Star Wars Episode 3 came out. And back in 2005, the mid 2000s, literally like in my opinion, the golden era of video games. Back when people were getting creative and shit. And this game just it still holds up. It still holds up to this day. I still, like I said, played on the Classic Collection, somewhat recently, trying to do a Galactic Conquest without dying. So yeah, the game is still really good. It's super fun to play, and I played the crap ton of it when I was a kid. So this is definitely my pick for a childhood game. Another pretty easy one. Relaxing game. That's one I gotta look into because I can't even think of anything right now. Maybe Minecraft, but Minecraft could be super fucking stressful at times, depending on what you're doing. Like if you're just building, then yeah, it's super relaxing. Relaxing. But if you're like in the Nether or some shit, especially on Bedrock, dude. Oh my god, it is terrible. Coming in for my relaxing game, I have Satisfactory. Just a simple factory building game. There is some parts of it that's stressful, like trying to maintain power and stuff. But essentially, the whole thing of it is like you're trying to automate it and automate a factory, and what you're trying to do is get more and more tiers up, making more and more complex, crafts and stuff, using more and more resources, expanding your factory until you get to the end. It's a very long game, actually. It's like, I don't know, like 80 hours or something. Like, it's a long game and it takes a lot of time, but it's not really a lot of stress. There's no real enemies in the game that can hurt you. There are some defending veins of, you know, resources, but you can really just turn it off and not even worry about them. And even without that, they have very little impact on the actual game itself. So really no enemies. There's fall damage, but there's just not a lot of things in this game that stresses you out that much. So that has my pick for the most relaxing game. Most stressful game, it's really between two: Ark Survival Evolved or Escape from Tarkov. Those are like my two big ones, I think, that I can think of. All right, my pick for the most stressful game that I have played, and a game I played a lot of, despite that, is Escape from Tarkov, man. There is nothing like getting a insane item or killing another player and grabbing all their shit, being overweight or whatever, or having a broken leg, having nothing to heal it with, and trying to hobble your way at your ass to an extract before either time runs out, scavs get you, or another player gets you. It is super stressful and very, very rewarding if you can pull it off, but very tragic if you cannot, and very rage inducing. This game, especially in the beginning, has you on the absolute edge of your seat trying to memorize maps, where extracts are, which one, who's a scav and who's not, and even adding players with you too. So because there's friendly fire and team killing, there's no way to know where someone is without communication. So you had the stress of like not having to figure out who's a friend, who's an enemy. If you're playing solo and everyone's an enemy, so, or unless you're a scav, then if you shoot a friendly scav, then that's bad. But playing with teammates makes it even more stressful because you're worrying about where they are and you don't want to kill them and make them lose their shit. And it's just, yeah. It's between this and Ark Survival Evolved, because Ark Survival Evolved does stress me out a lot because I get in some sticky situations in Lunatane that could take hours to get up to where it was, and that could suck. But yeah, game you always come back to. There's a few of these: DayZ, Minecraft, Escape from Tarkov, another one. I don't really know what to gauge it because all these games I always come back to. But I don't know which games I come back to harder than others. I say the game I come back to the hardest. The game I think I come back to the hardest out of all three of those, Tarkov, DayZ, Tarkov, DayZ, Minecraft, out of all of them, I probably come back the hardest on DayZ because I'd be like completely invested in the game. I get that one taste on like a new server, starting fresh and stuff, getting those player to player interactions. You know, stressful PvP. It's not as stressful as Tarkov in my opinion, but still super stressful PvP because if you die, you lose everything. You're back to normal. Unless you can get back to your stuff somehow and get some scraps, or the player just never looted you, you lose all your shit. And you got to start all the way over from scratch, losing a base too and stuff. And or building a base makes it addicting too. And just when I'm into DayZ, man, I am into DayZ and I don't want to play anything else. So yeah, over the years, I always come back to DayZ maybe like once or twice a year, and when I've been into DayZ, I'm just going absolute crazy on it. So yeah, DayZ would be my game I always come back to. Guilty pleasure, I gotta really think of one, and that is Zenless Zone Zero, which is a free-to-play gacha game. It's made by the same people who made Genshin Impact. It's kind of like a hack and slash version of that, and yeah, man, I played it quite a bit for a little bit. I haven't really played it in like months, but I actually enjoyed the game. I thought it was just going to be a game I played like once or twice because I heard it's like a Gunner game or whatever. Decided to give it a try, see what the hype was about. I thought I liked the art style and the characters designs, so I decided to check it out. Ended up liking the gameplay loop a bit. Just I kind of got burnt out on it pretty quickly. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, man, that'd be my guilty pleasure game, I guess. I don't really play it much anymore, but that's the only thing game I can think of. Either that or Genshin Impact, or yeah, Genshin Impact. I played Zero Zero more, or Power World. But I wouldn't even say Power World. Power World is a good game. That's not even a guilty pleasure for real. That's my pick anyway. Tons of hours played. I guess I'll put my most played game in that slot, which is coming in at tons of hours played. My literally most played game of all time, Minecraft. I played this game on Xbox 360, Xbox One, PC, on multiple different versions. I played Bedrock, Java, and enjoyed it thoroughly throughout the entirety of its existence. I mean, pretty much from almost day one this game came out, I've been playing it. So obviously, I put a ton of time into the game. I always come back to it, kind of like the same as DayZ and Tarkov. I come back to it, play it. But on multiple accounts I can't even access anymore. It's hard to gauge how many hours I put into the game, but it's easily over 1,000. The only other game I have over 1,000 hours in is Rainbow Six Siege. And if there was a most played first person shooter tab on here, that would be it. That would be it. Not really my favorite first person shooter, but it'd be there. Probably my favorite competitive one, but yeah. Minecraft, I've always played it. I've played it as recently as this year. Did a hardcore series, didn't end up going my way, but yeah, man, that is the entirety of this little template here, man. I went from everything from my favorite game to my most played game to my guilty pleasure to my favorite ending. Only two repeats on this list, and that is Undertale and God of War. Undertale being my favorite and favorite ending and my favorite soundtrack, and my God of War being my favorite protagonist and the best story in my opinion. So let me know what y'all think in the comments, and if y'all want to use this template, I just got it off Reddit. You just search up About You Video Games template, and you can go to images or Reddit itself, and there you'll find the template there. If you want to post it on TikTok, or just you know just want to do it for fun, kind of like how I did it. I might post it on TikTok, but I just want to make a video of this because I thought it was pretty fun. I hope y'all guys enjoyed it as always. And without further ado, I'm going to leave it there. So, yeah, peace.